recording. Bap, ba, da, bap, bap, bap. Dum, 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 dum. We're back. And actually, I've got a guest this time helping this interview. It's been a long time since that's happened. Okay. And actually, it's probably one of the first times she's bloody did it.
No,
Yes, we are the Vinyl Vandals, and we're interviewing in-house tonight. So you know who I am. I am King Fred, and we have below me.
Hi, I'm Julie. Nice to see you all again. And tonight we're talking to our very own Vinyl Vandals DJ. Ridla, come on.
Hello, DJ Ridla, picking his favourite 5 UK style this time. Let's get going.
Yes, indeed, let's get going. Right, so, Ridla, you were the first one to do the favourite 5, nearly, well, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was last year anyway. You were the first one to do it. It was an experiment. You did the pilot episode, and that was your USA. You've come back and you're doing your UK ones this time. Okay. How hard was it to do?
Changed my mind about once, but I had the ones what I wanted set in stone basically straight away.
Well, that's not so bad because I've changed my mind with both of mine, UK and USA about 50, 60 times. So you haven't done bad if you've been able to stick to your plot. So that's not a bad thing. Okay. We will start. Okay, so let's pick your first one. Oh, before we start, you're picking your USA ones, and have you got them in any particular order so that people know that it's your favourite to you, not to, or whatever? What's?
Yeah, they're not in any particular order because they're all my favourites. Basically, they're all as good as each other. Okay,
let's pick your first one then.
Right, so we're going to go with Overlord X. Weapon is my lyric.
Nice one.
See that one?
Yeah. Okay. Have we had this one? I don't think. Julie, have we had this one yet? I can't remember. I don't think we have we?
I don't think we have, you know. I don't know why not, because it's a belter of an album.
It is a good album.
He's an excellent artist, I think.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I don't know why he doesn't get as much recognition as, like, say, other people do, you know?
Probably because he's not really around anymore. So some people are still shouting that they're the best or that they're still current. I don't know. You know, and people are still speaking to some of the artists that we've had on, like who have been mentioned. You know, I might be wrong in this, but you know, some people that get mentioned are still around, and you can still talk to them on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But he's not around, is he? As Overlord X.
No, I think he's around, but he has had a few name changes, hasn't he?
He has. And
he was in like a pop group as well, wasn't he? Like in the, was it early 2000s or what? Sure, he was in like a pop group, but this is a proper Overlord X. This is the top man.
What I remember the last time, I don't know if he's still on one of my social media. I did have him on, but he's a photographer now, and he's got his name on. So yeah.
Well, the reason I chose this one is because of this 12, which is 14 days in May.
Excuse me.
I was just waiting for the album to come out through that.
Right.
Obviously, I'd seen can you remember Behind the Beat?
Yeah.
It was on a Monday night.
People keep mentioning it. I don't remember it, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I had seen Overlord X doing that 14 days in May. I had done a video for it, and I just couldn't wait for the album to come out. I mean, this is 1988, this album, so it's probably, I think it's probably my very first UK hip-hop album. Maybe like as an artist, because I did have the compilations. I had the Hard as Hell compilations.
Yeah.
But I think this is the first one that I had as a standalone artist LP.
Okay.
It's just fast. I mean, look at the back. Look at the back. You can't fault that.
I didn't really get what the back was supposed to be about though.
Well, it's just a robot made of speakers, amps.
But why? Was there any
Why
explanation as to why? I don't know.
But you can, because it's just a nice little concept.
Julie, what do you reckon?
What about the album?
Yeah, and his choice. What do you think? Is it in your collection? Do you have it?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was listening to it this afternoon. I mean, it's absolutely littered with samples all over the shop.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it is.
And when you were like thinking about the favorite track off there, I was stumped.
Okay.
I'd be interested to see what yours is, Ridla.
Mine is, right, there's some good ones on there, like Rough and Hackney, Weapon Is My Lyrics, Kickbag, which is great. But I like Now My Day Begins, because it's like a story all the way through. It's it's like, I like the storytelling in hip hop, and he like tells a story all the way through it.
Okay.
It's really good, that one. What's your favorite one?
For me, probably because I had the 12-inch of it. I'd heard 14 Days in May down in London, and I knew there was a story behind it. What was it about? Is it about something?
It's about an inmate on death row.
Serial killer or something on death row. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had I think he was he had been on death row for like years and years and years. And there was a documentary on BBC Two about it, and that's why he made the song. Right.
So I'd heard the song down London, but what I got at the time, because I didn't actually buy the 12-inch, I got was Rough and Hackney.
Yeah.
And that was like my first, like sort of like my first purchase of one of his records was a 12-inch of Rough and Hackney. So it all sticks in my mind as being that was the first sort of like Overload X thing I got. I've got that album, I've got it on CD and I've got it on vinyl. I've also got the other one, which is one with, has he got a Ghetto Blaster or something holding something like that? What's the other?
X versus the World.
X versus the World. I've got that as well. You know, and I've got an
well, that the character on the back
is holding the Ghetto Blaster on the other one.
He's called Lord V.
Lord Vader or something. Or Lord V.
Or Lord V. And he's on the second album.
Right.
It's basically it's Overlord X.
Yeah.
His voice.
With a voice coder.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
But
and also a family friend. When my little sister moved down to London when she was 18, to pursue a career in hairdressing. She didn't even bloody carry it out. Like she was a hairdresser for a while, but she now works in schools. But anyway, she went down to London. Shout out to Michelle, by the way, because she always watches this show. She's a good supporter.
Big up, Michelle.
Yeah. She got in with a group of friends, and one of the friends was a guy called John Kessie. Shout out to John Kessie as well. So shout out to John Kessie. John Kessie was in the X Posse.
All right.
Did a bit of the music production and dancing and stuff within the crew. So yeah, John Kessie, shout out to him as well. So he was in the X Posse.
Yeah, and of course, X Posse, Mirage had hits.
Is it Mid-Range? Not Mirage. It's not
Mid-Range. He had records out.
Yeah.
And of course, we're talking about it last night on the other favourite 5, Definition of Sound.
Definition of Sound.
Yeah, because they were Kev One and the Don, I think.
Yeah.
Out of the X Posse.
Okay. Yeah, Mid-Range had a Mid-Range song. It was on one of those hip hop and ragga albums. It was called something like Children of the Ghetto or Kids of the Ghetto or something. I loved that. It was like a hip hop ragga track. I sampled Bob Marley. I used to love that. I used to play it to death. Love that track. So,
what's your favourite, Julian? Did you see it?
No, I didn't. Oh Christ! I don't know. I'm gonna say. Let me say Too Bad for like this second. It's just got some nice samples on. It's got Maceo and the Max, Collins, the Soul Searcher. You know what I mean? Like you find these on a load of songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me just say for a second.
Back in the day when they used to get away with it as well in the 80s. Before they started getting their coats pulled. Yeah.
True.
I had the 12s first as well.
What's that, sorry?
I had the 12s before I bought the album.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of, because I've heard them more, I'm more inclined to pick those out on the album, but
yeah,
let me pick that one for now. Yeah.
It's funny,
You know,
'cause I don't listen to them that often. I should listen to them more, but I don't listen to them that often. I don't know why. It's a funny one, you know. Obviously, you had that well documented beef with what do you call him?
MC Duke.
Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, depending on what side of the fence you were on and who you believed in, all of that. But it was interesting at the time. It was like the closest thing we had to sort of like the American beef that was going on, which was obviously a lot bigger. But like that was the biggest sort of UK one, wasn't it? That you can remember.
Well, I sort of, if you could put a beef together for them, like a comparison in America, I would say it would be like Kool Moe Dee and LL Cool J, with Overlord X being LL Cool J.
And why is that?
Because I think he's a better rapper.
But what's that got to do with it?
I think he's a better rapper than LL Cool J is a better rapper than Kool Moe Dee. And I think, well, my personal is Overlord X is better than MC Duke.
Really?
Okay.
Controversial.
Very controversial.
That's my own. I like MC Duke as well. That's the thing. But I think Overlord X is. I just like his style better.
Okay. Well, all I would say, MC Duke and Overlord X. Okay, you're very welcome to come on the show and spit your bit. I'm putting a disclaimer in. I never said it. Okay, Ridla said it, not me. Okay?
I said it.
Yeah, you said it. Okay.
And I'm not sorry.
Well, I'll go for Duke.
What's that? You're going for Duke?
Yeah,
fair enough.
It's a funny one because I never saw.
No, I do like Duke. I do.
None of that. None of that. You're not working at number 10 now, Ari. So you come back and eating humble pie and that and get your flat decorated and out like that. Okay. It's
that was me that done that for Boris's flat. You know, I decorated his flat. You just couldn't see it. I never saw cash. Well,
I read. I never saw X live. I don't know if you ever saw X live. I didn't see him live. No, but I saw Duke live. I saw Duke in Newcastle. Yeah,
I've saw Duke before
at the old Riverside. So that's why I saw him. So for me, obviously, I've saw him live, and that always sticks a bit. Cause, you know, we're Vinyl Vandals, and the reason why we're Vinyl Vandals is because we got together through our love of hip hop and going to live shows. And you know, always sticks with me is that I'll always give to the nod to the people I've saw live if they were good, and he was good when he was live when he came to Newcastle. To be fair, so not that I'm saying one's better than the other, but just I'll always give it to the ones that have bothered to come up to Newcastle and play live. But I don't know, X might have been in Newcastle, but I don't remember it. So,
well, I will just say one more thing. I saw Stenhouse take out all of MC Duke's posse plus MC Duke on stage live, and that's it. In Newcastle MC, he took every single one of them out. Your opinion.
Yeah, remember that. It's your opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's what hip-hop's about. It's not about who's right and wrong, although you get on some of these hip-hop forums and it's like, I'm right, you're wrong. But it's not. It's about your opinion. Doesn't mean you're right. You know? It's about your ears as well, what you actually like to hear as well. That's just my 2 pence worth. Anyway, we'll move to the next one, please. Next album.
Second choice is this monster. Demon Boys recognition.
Yeah, well, they get a lot of votes for when people pick the UK. They weren't in my top 5, but they could have quite easily been, but they weren't. But they get, you know, when we do these UK favorite 5s, they've come up a lot. They're probably the most voted ones, I think. Actually, if we go back and look at them. So, what's so good about that album, then, Ridla?
Well, it was like, it's the first time I had heard like reggae and rap mixed together, and I'm not really a reggae fan, but when it comes together to form ragga, I just thought that works and works really well, you know. And I just like the style of them, you know.
So are you saying that you heard that before you heard London Posse then?
I heard, yes, definitely. I heard this before.
Okay.
London Posse, definitely.
Interesting.
London Posse came out just before this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't heard of them.
Right. Okay.
I hadn't heard of them, so I had heard of the Demon Boys.
Yeah.
And I'd seen the Demon Boys. I'd seen them on Ensign Rap Show with Westwood.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'd heard them on the Hard as Hell compilation as well. So,
yeah. Okay.
So,
Julie?
What?
Attention. What do you think about his choice? What do you think about the Demon Boys and his fact that he's saying it's the first time he's heard reggae rap?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. But Demon Boys, that album's, you know, it's another top album, like you say, it's been mentioned a few times.
Yeah.
I think Inch mentioned it when she did it.
She did. She got DJ Devastate on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And I think even like between now and then, you know, it's like when you ask me what my choice is, I think I said with a Z on that one, but today I'm probably going to say we call him Devastate.
Okay.
Because I always like the track that, you know what I mean, as I has a bit of the DJ on there and gives a bit of recognition.
Yeah.
Up front. So yeah, this is me. Can't commit to anything.
Well, of course, it's on the famous Music of Life label.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my favourite track on it is it's a hard one, that. Because, like I say, I saw them on that Westwood thing and they done Northside and they done Rougher Than an Animal.
Yeah.
And they're both really, really good, them, like.
I'll just pick one man.
Get him tilt.
Vibes.
There
you go.
I tell you, the thing that always strikes me about Demon Boys is that anybody who knows me is I'm very, very strong on imagery. Do you know what I mean? When you know, if you ask me to get involved in stuff, I'm always getting involved in stuff, how to do this, how to do that, whether it's Keep the Faith or whether it's being crunk in the past, what I do with the young people, or obviously Vinyl Vandals, Bridge, the Bridge, whatever it is, I really think the logo's got to be strong. And one thing I've always thought about a lot of the British artists, their logos were crap. The Demon Boys, they came out on point with that logo. I mean, when you look at, say, like London Posse, I love London Posse, but the logo was shit. You know what I mean? I didn't rate it at all, in comparison, and I've got to be honest, I'm being honest. I found a lot of the UK artists didn't have strong logos. When you look across in America at record labels and obviously artists had really strong logos.
Yeah.
Stuff that looks good on t-shirts, stuff that looks good on a hoodie or a sweat top, stuff that looks good on a record, like on stickers. I think imagery is really, really important. People like it.
What you've got to remember with the early UK rap, you hardly ever saw anybody. It was all just plain covers.
Yeah.
It was nearly always just a plain cover, and you didn't know what people looked like until you might have saw them in like Hip Hop Connection, a few weeks later. But I mean, that's what you got to remember. Plus, there wasn't that much money in the UK scene either, so.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't stop you having a good logo, though, does it? Because
I know.
Logo goes a long way.
I get what you're saying, but personally, I don't really give that much of a shite.
I'm talking about me. That's fine. You're being honest, and I'm being honest. I love a good strong imagery, like the whole thing, the package. So Run DMC's logo, EPMD's logo. Do you know what I mean? It always resonates with me. Def Jam's iconic logo. You know what I mean? Nervous Records logo. I go on and on and on. But I really rate like Wu-Tang. When you see that W, that's Wu-Tang. To me, it means a lot. And I think someone didn't really think about merchandise and about the whole package, which was a bit of a shame, But yeah, that's just me. But definitely, Demon Boys were one of the best. Their logo was really, really strong. Oh, where's Julie gone? Julie.
She's back.
No, she's there, but her picture's gone.
She's back.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to get an answer phone call afterwards, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. Strongly worded.
Don't worry about it, man. We're just having fun.
Okay.
But recognition.
Okay, in vibes, yeah?
I'm going to go for vibes, aye.
Yeah, okay. Put that down then.
Next one.
Just have a little bit of an interlude now to talk about, to ask you something. So we started this in lockdown. We've been in lockdown. As somebody, you know, who's a vinyl vandal and who likes to go to gigs, that's how we know each other, going to gigs and stuff, and you know, and going to listen to live music, sitting in some of the sort of like alternative bars that we have in the city. We haven't been able to do that for over a year. How's that been for you as somebody who DJs as well? You haven't been able to do Vinyl Vandals stuff. You weren't able to do the Lindisfarne last year. You weren't able to do the Tiffany's reunion. All stuff that you're very much involved in. How's that been?
I mean, it's disappointing, but I'd rather be sat in the house than, you know, be like infected by this thing.
I get that, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is how it's been.
I mean, I know what you mean. It's helped me doing the radio show.
Yeah.
Because I can do that every week, and I can also, if I don't get stopped by certain social media companies, you can also go live, and you can sort of entertain people that way. But I mean, I'd love it if we could get it back out and do stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see for now.
Yeah. Okay. Julie, what about you? How's it been for you?
Well, I'm quite antisocial, as you know, anyway.
True story.
So it wasn't too bad. There was loads of stuff playing. There was loads of live things and all of that. So it was okay. But now I'm just itching to go back out again. Really badly. I don't know if it's because it's like the summer's coming or whatever it is. But yeah. We need to do something urgently.
Like, I mean, it's been good watching like all the big hip hop artists doing like the verses and stuff in like their live stuff, because it does show they're basically human as well, because their stuff breaks down as well. So you know, it's been okay.
Yeah.
I mean, how's it been for you, Fred? I mean,
I've hated this. I've hated every minute of it because I'm a bit like really. I'm not. Although I'm involved in a lot of different things, which keeps us busy and keeps my mind right. Okay, a lot of those things have been taken off us, but you know, although I am involved in a lot of things, I am quite antisocial. I like to just be, you know, in the house or with me and Emma, and you know what I mean. Or me and my kids, I'm happy. But I also like my outlets, so I like going to the gym, as you know. I like going to teach boxing, doing karate and teaching it and kickboxing and all of that. I love being involved in that. I love my youth work, which has also been sort of taken off us because we've had to work from home and stuff. I've hated all of that, and also hated not being with you and, you know, like going down to the crew. Yeah. Well, some of yous anyway, not you, Julie. But you know what I mean?
That's the biggest thing. I mean, you don't really. You can get away with missing the music, but you can't get away with missing your mates. Like I hated that bit as well. Like,
but to me, they go hand in hand, because it's going to a gig and looking at me left and seeing you, Ridla, like your face, like, and then looking at me right and seeing Julie or John. Do you know what I mean? And we're like, oh, that was mint. Did you see what he's just done there? Did you see what she's just done there? And not doing that, you know, like us jumping in the car. You know, we've done this quite a bit, Julie, as well. Like when you've come out to my work, jumped in my car, and we flew down to Manchester for the night, and then flew back again. Do you know what I mean? On a Saturday afternoon or Saturday morning, we've jumped in the car and went down to York or whatever. Or we flew up when we did with you, Ridla, and we went up to Glasgow.
Yeah, Glasgow.
Those things, you know, like that, finding that yard works and thinking, oh, we'll have to go back there next year, and then we couldn't go. I've missed all of that. I've missed going out and being with Emma. Emma's not obviously banging she does like rap music, but she's not. She likes more the popular side, and she likes like a ragga stuff as well. But going to places where we've been able to sit and have a pint and have something to eat, you know, like down that sort of like Oosburn area.
I miss going for digs as well.
What's that? Sorry.
I miss going for digs as well.
Yeah, and digs.
I went digging last week, and it was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like heaven.
Going to Time Out, me and Emma like driving to the metro station, jumping on the metro and going to Time Out Market, not driving to Time Out, but just getting the train down there for a change and doing that. You know, all of those, we like to go to you came once, but me and Emma used to go every other Saturday. Sometimes to the Time Bank. You know, the
yeah.
We love going there. I might go and buy one record and just sit and have a pint, and we'll get a burger or whatever, and just sit and watch the world go by as people coming in and out, and watch people's fashion and all of that. We'll love it. And we haven't been able to do that. That's been a good for for 2 years. We haven't done that, so I can't wait to get back to that. So yeah, definitely. And then
I tell you one thing I've missed.
What's
the
that?
Ghostface Killer turn.
The back of flipping Defiance.
Oh, yeah, me.
But yeah, and also like you've said, you've loved the verses. I've hated them. I've absolutely hated. I can't stand them. I'll be honest. They've just got boring and long.
They've been okay. I mean, I was more on about like the DJ sets, like Lord Finesse, D Nice, Crafty Cuts. Who's the other one?
Big Daddy Kane's done some nice.
Chrome's been good. Chrome's been good, really good.
I haven't really been checking them out because they're just it's just not for me. What I have liked though is I've liked the podcasts. I've really got into listen to like Hip Hop Save My Life podcasts, the Talib Kweli podcasts. What else? Which other ones have I been listening to? The Dame Baptiste Bob podcasts. I've got about 4 on the go now that when I go for my walks, which I've enjoyed as well, by the way, going for my walks and listening to my podcasts. I've loved that. I found some really interesting stuff out. It's educated us, which I found really good as well. So, but anyway, let's get back to your favourite 5, Ridla. Just thought I'd put that in there.
Number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
Wait there. Where is it? There he is. Now I don't know if you two know. Wait, I think Julie might, but I don't know if Fred does.
I know.
First Down.
Yeah.
World Service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that album, but I have heard. I've got First Down stuff, but I haven't heard that album.
I was going to say the same thing. I haven't got the album. I had a couple of 12s. What was it? Let the Battle Begin or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Joe.
That's Joe Warfare.
I think that's all I've had.
Okay.
Joe Warfare. That's the first 12.
Uh-huh.
And obviously this is the album.
Right.
It's they're from Brighton.
Okay.
And the reason I like this one is because the accents were just so different.
Okay.
Because at the time, all I had was basically London groups.
Yeah.
And these are from like the South Coast. It just sounds amazing. Plus the music's great as well. Like,
are they around now, Ridla? Do you know? Do you know anything
about
it?
Yeah.
Have you got them on Facebook or anything like that, or Instagram?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've got the main one's called King Arrow.
Uh-huh.
It's he's Paul Barlow. He's a massive graffiti artist.
Okay.
He's huge. He's done stuff for like Fatboy Slim and stuff like that, and just massive, huge murals, like sides of houses, everything.
Okay.
He's one of the main rappers. There's Correct, DJ Heist. Who's the other one? Baron Demas, who was on the Rex thing. The reason I got that out is because it's
you like
the sound makers.
Because you like the cheap.
The sound makers. So basically, the sound makers are First Down.
Right.
So I was just showing you there. Wasn't an extra one.
yeah, whatever.
But yeah, it's just. Plus, I like the cover.
So, if you were describing them, are they like sort of like that Britcore hardcore sound, are they?
It's like half and half. They've got that classic, like hip hop New York sound,
and
then they've got the Britcore sound as well. I think it's like a mixture of this album. It's really good. The beats and everything are class. If you can get a hold of it.
Okay.
But I like the cover. I don't know if you can see. It's like DJ. It's obviously somebody's bedroom. Yeah. 2 turntables, mixer, Hip Hop Poster, which is Daily Operation, which is Gangstar.
Gangstar, yeah.
It's just basically like what my bedroom was like when I was like their age, 18. Turntables up, posters up, records on.
There's a few of those. So that they only had one album out, I take it then, yeah?
They had two, but it didn't get released. They were supposed to sign for Cold Sweat, and it never happened.
Right.
But the second album came out, and it was on Heroes of UK Hip Hop.
Right.
And you could download it on there.
Okay.
It was just like he had Arrow had give the files to the kid and says just put them on because it needs to be heard. But they had 3 12s in this album.
I think I've got a 12 by them. I think I actually bought the 12 with you, one of yours or some of yours anyway. That what's it? I always forget its name. But is it 5.6 record? Whatever it's called. What's it?
5.86. Is it 5.86?
What's a record shop called that we go to?
5.86. Yeah.
5.86. I think I got it then. Like one of the buckets. You know, like outside things.
Yeah.
Nah, you wouldn't have got one of them.
Are you sure?
Not for that cheap. Joe Warfare goes for 60, 70 quid.
Well, I'm sure I've got a first down record from somewhere like that in Newcastle, though, not anywhere else.
You might have, like.
Yeah. Oh, unless it was like that blooming, what do you call it? The Tiny Bar in someone's record collection. You know, like when the guys come and sell their records there at the bar.
Yeah, if you have, you've got a good score there, like.
Yeah, I'm sure I got it. It's only a white like label thing. It's not got a picture on anything. I'll have to look through my records and see if it's there.
Yeah.
And I tell you, because I got it at the same time I got what's the other guys called that did the song called Bambi Killings EP?
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. I got it at the same time I got some of their stuff as well.
Yeah, you might have, like.
Yeah.
I could be. But yeah. My favourite song on it. It's on the B side. It's called Pyramids of Power.
Okay.
It's just like solid hip hop.
Cool.
There's another one on called 7 MCs.
And
it's with loads of German kids.
Yeah.
But it samples the 7 MCs, put them in a line. You know that Aeroplane Rakim.
Okay.
And also there's a one on called Ultimate Damage, and you can watch the video. The video's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're doing a scratch on there. But basically what they're doing is, instead of scratching with the record, he's got the needle and he's scratching with the needle over the record. So they're quite innovative, like quite inventive as well.
Don't know what you mean.
So, you know, your needle on your tone arm.
Yeah.
So he's picked the needle up, put it on the record, instead of scratching with your hand on the record, he's actually...
Right, okay.
Sounds great, like.
Okay.
Totally knock your needles, like, but no, mind.
I'm going to say I'm knock your bloody record as well.
Yeah, there's that possibility that, like.
There's a one on as well about it's called Soccer 94. It's about soccer hooliganism. I've never ever heard that in a hip hop song.
Okay.
Good stuff though.
Okay, so put it down.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4. Couldn't really leave Blade out.
Well, he's cropped up quite a few times on
well, it's a classic, isn't it? Basically, it's a classic.
Okay. Why is it a classic for you?
I like the ethic behind it. I like the work ethic. Because he basically done it himself. He said he went stuff the labels. I'm gonna save some money. I'm gonna put it out myself. He basically got it out because of the fans as well. Yeah. Because the fans, like what's it called when you do like a Just Giving sort of thing.
Well, I was going to say he was like one of the original ones to do like.
He done the original thing, but you had to send the money.
Send a check.
Send a check.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
crowdfunding.
Yeah, like crowdfunding. Yeah. It's whoops, that one's signed as well, by the way.
Nice.
And he's having a wee there, by the way. Disgusting.
Having a whiz, yeah.
But I got this one. What a concert at the Riverside.
Uh-huh.
And it was like a showcase.
Not a gig, a concert.
A concert, yes. A gig, concert, whatever. A show. But it was a showcase. And there was 3 acts on. One was like a indie band. One was a reggae artist. And the other one was Blade. And I hadn't got the album because I didn't know that you could actually send away for it. But I had got the first 12.
Uh-huh.
There's the first 12 there.
Yeah.
I got that, so I knew about them. And so I went up to the merch stand and I got the album.
Nice one.
And I was standing at the merch stand just looking at it like that, looking it over, and I felt a tap on my shoulder. And I went, "Oh, sorry, I'll just get out of the way." He says, "Oh, no. Thanks for buying my album."
Nice
it was
one.
Blade. "Thanks for buying my album. Do you want a crisp?" That was his record. And like, all I could say was, I don't like salt and vinegar. Because I'd never met anybody famous before. And I was like, dumbstruck. I was sort of like, "Can you sign me record, mister?" Even though he was probably the same age as me. But you know.
Anyway, but yeah, shout out to Blade as well because he's a good dude. So
yeah, shout out to Blade, definitely.
No. I've never met him. I think I must be the only person in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Or probably in the world that's never met Blade.
He's got good connections up here, obviously. With Ridla, he knows Ridla like the most. When Mark B and Blade came out, they came up to the university and it was absolutely like rammed, full. And first thing he said when he came on stage was, "Okay, Newcastle, where's Ridla? Get up on the stage with me now," because he just respects him that much, you know, because he's been down with them since like day one.
Yeah.
Same here, like, I mean, I got that 12 in Solid Sounds over the Metro Centre on the first day it came out. And but yeah.
I remember buying Lyrical Maniac.
Yeah.
I mean, on 12, and I was blown away by it. I found when the album came out, it was different to what I was expecting from Lyrical Maniac. It didn't follow on, so it was a bit, you know what I mean? I had to get used to it. I loved it straight away, but it just wasn't what I was expecting from that 12.
Okay. So what's your favourite track, Ridla?
Oh, that's easy, that. Dark and Sinister.
Okay.
With MC Mello.
Julie?
It's just amazing.
I was going to say the same one. It's hard to pick, to be fair. In fact, I wasn't even going to pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me go for that one, I suppose.
Is that album played by yourself, or is that played with Mark B?
No, that's by yourself. The line goes from strength to strength. That's very first LP. There's actually one on here called Silence. Silence is better than bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's a track with him. I think he's eating a bag of crisps.
Yeah.
And that's all you can hear. It's really strange. But that Dark and Sinister. You can feel like the anger.
You played that on your record show as well, on your radio show as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, one of the lines is was it? "Mellow, why you cursing? Because I'm fucking angry."
Angry. Yeah.
It's just, you're like, whoa, yeah, go for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That brings me nicely into we've been in lockdown. The reason why I asked a question about lockdown before is we're bringing bridge back. This is just fantasy, but you know, bear with us. We're bringing the bridge back, even though we have talked about doing that, you know. But we're bringing the bridge back. Shout out to Sandy, by the way, and John Dyer, and the rest of the bridge crew. But we're bringing the bridge back. We have a shopping list of 10 UK artists. We're only doing UK, and we've got 10 UK artists, group or solo. And I just want you to start reading them off the top of your head and don't think too much about them. Who you'd like to see on the show at a gig, say like Wyland Breweries. We're going to go at Wyland Breweries because we're not going to stand back to the stage. We're going to Wyland Breweries.
Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Chrome.
Yeah. Dead or Alive as well.
Uncle Mike Nitro.
Well, I'll just stop you there. They can be dead or alive. They can be not together anymore. Not. It's not. It's a wish list. Yeah. It's just a fantasy wish list.
But they've got to be UK.
They've obviously got to be UK. Yes. Yeah.
Well, Chrome, Uncle Mike Nitro.
Have Outlaw Posse.
Whoa! Not you! Not you! Not you!
No, but it's going to take forever if we're going to do 10 each one.
Go on, Julie. You go. Go on, Julie. You go then.
Mellow. I don't know if he's doing stuff.
Doesn't matter. Duke.
Skinny Man.
Whoa, man. She's gone first. You chill out.
Let's jump in. Let's just jump in and go for that.
Yeah.
Go on in.
How about you, Fred?
Me. London Posse.
Yeah.
Demon Boys. Rebel MC when he was Rebel MC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. MCD.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Black Radical.
Yeah.
It's just got Brotherhood. Yeah. Did I say London Posse? If I haven't, yeah, London Posse. Outlaw. Caveman. They nearly pick themselves, really, don't they? When you think about it, you know. Yeah. Anybody else?
Suspect from Derby, definitely. Ooh.
Nobody said it.
All of the B-line crew. All of the B-line crew, definitely.
Well, I think
Hijack. Hijack, of course. Hijack.
Gunshot. Nobody's mentioned Gunshot.
Gunshot, of course.
I'm waiting for you to get saying it, so I'll help you. Can you imagine? You know, my thing is to have, you know, like how they have the gods of rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to have I think gods of rap for me. I think it's a bit of a
like a UK version.
Yeah, but call it Legends of UK or something like that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to call it God. I'd like the use of the word God anyway. But Legends, UK Legends or something like that. You know what I mean? And I'd love to have Cookie Crew. You know what I mean?
I'd love to say Cookie Crew, like.
You know, just all of them. I just think it would be mint if we could have something like a sort of like an all day, you know, like a weekend or a weekend or something. I just absolutely love it if they could all just. You know,
and you're winding us up now, talking about it.
Black Twang obviously as well. Black Twang would be up there as well for me, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a week-long event the way we're carrying on now.
We can't but wish. If anybody's actually listening to this and have heard this, yeah, please make it happen. Or maybe we've got to make it happen. Maybe it needs to someone like us, you know, like the Bridge Crew to make something like that happen. But I'd love it to happen. It would be great, you know. But anyway,
we can only but try.
We can. Okay. Last album.
Oh, right. Last album. Horns of Jericho. Hijack.
We haven't had that album before.
Well, come on. It's classic. I was going to choose Gunshot over this, but I thought...
Aye, where's Gunshot? That's shocking, that, like.
I know. But I just thought, this is the one that's got the most memories for us anyway, so.
Okay.
Because, obviously, the 12 came out, The Bad Man is Robin.
Yeah.
And at the start of the 12, it says, taken from the forthcoming album.
Oh, man, that's what I was going to say.
The Horns of Jericho. Well, great minds think alike. And it didn't turn up.
Uh-huh.
It didn't turn up for just over 2 years.
Right.
I would go into Volume.
I was the same.
Every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say to Bill, is the Hijack album in? And he'd go, no, it's not out yet.
Turn around to me and say, get out.
I would actually walk in the door. He would look up and just go, no. Because he just knew I was going to ask.
I was exactly the same. That's what I was going to say about this one.
Yeah.
I just waited for that album. Made a total nuisance of myself.
It was obviously a wrangle over cash because it didn't come out on Rhyme Syndicate. It came out on Warner Brothers.
Mm.
And just and after all the waiting, I eventually got it. I don't even think Bill worked at Volume when it came out. So I think he had moved on to another record shop, and that's when I got that. And I took it home, and I was just nervous because I didn't think it was going to be any good because it had been like sidelined for so long, and I just thought, what? But then put it on. First track, the intro, Phantom of the Opera. I was like, nah. Just played the whole album through and through and through and through constantly. I mean, this is my original one. It's probably, the groove's probably gone on it. I've got other ones. I've got the reissue.
Yeah.
That was on Naked Ape. That one. But plus I've got the
DJ Supreme one.
Yeah. Plus I've got the original Horns of Jericho, which is the original album that came out on cassette.
Uh-huh.
But it only came out in cassette in London, and there was only a very, very limited amount of them. And I don't even think it was like a proper promo. I think it was just people dubbing them.
It's interesting as well, isn't it? Because the original pressing still goes for anything over 75 quid.
I mean, I got one of these a couple of years ago, didn't I? Because I gave it to you. I gave it to Julie. It was only 8 quid. So, but they're like, they do go for a lot of money. But that one goes for the most money.
Yeah.
The original one.
What I would also say as well is, again, is a strong logo. It always catches my eye.
I mean, yeah.
Amazing on t-shirts, amazing on hats, amazing on badges, whatever, you know what I mean? But it's a strong logo. I love, I'll keep going on about it, but I do love a good logo. It tells me what...
I mean, if you couldn't get away with that album cover today, could you? Not really.
Yeah, you could. See, worse than that now. I mean, it was radical at the time, but it's quite tame now. These people artists do a lot worse than that now.
Yeah.
It was radical at the time. I mean, that was radical at the time when you think about it. You know?
Yeah. Well, just being called the terrorist group as well. Hijack the terrorist group.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, there were some 12s that came out that weren't on the album, which is a shame. I don't know what to do with the label or whatever, but Style Wars and things like that.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
No, because what happened was, when this was, you had The Bad Man is Robin,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next release was supposed to be this one, but it didn't come out for 2 years, so they done a remix of Style Wars, the Style Warriors Revenge, and they went back onto Music of Life.
Right,
So
yeah.
that was in between Bad Manners Robin and this, just as a thingy, just as a like a little
bridge.
I don't know, like a gateway sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was class. I loved it.
yeah, definitely. The what's your favourite on it? I'm gonna ask you first.
Well, you've stole my thunder because I was going to say the Bad Man is Robin, just because the memories of that intro and me wanting and wanting and wanting to get the album.
Fred?
I don't know, to be honest. Read some of those again. I don't play that often, to be honest.
Syndicate Out of Jail, Daddy Rich, Back to Brixton, Airwave Hijack, Terrorist Group, I Had to Serve You, Don't Go with Strangers. That was a really strange record. That.
Yeah.
I would probably say Syndicate Out of Jail, because I remember it being on the what was that show with Gnomski?
Dance Energy.
Dance Energy.
Yeah, Dance Energy was, yeah.
Syndicate, that song was on there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them doing that. I was like, I think they got a few complaints for it as well when it was on and that, you know, just like, yeah.
Yeah, because they had like gunshot wound t-shirts and everything on.
Yeah. And one of them
I think my favourite is probably, I like Phantom of the Opera.
That's a good one as well. I like obviously the beat that Nazi.
The first line class. Here comes the Phantom of the Stanton, the Style Warrior. Class.
And that's not the usual rapper, is it? It's one of the DJs that's rapping on that, isn't it?
No. There's two rappers. Well, there's two rappers and there's two DJs, but one of the DJs raps as well. Yeah, DJ Undercover's one of the rappers on this. Yeah.
Did he not rap?
Did
he not rap on the Phantom of the Opera?
He hadn't really rapped before.
Did he not rap on that song though, Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
He's on most of them. But just a class UK album.
It's a funny thing.
And I know there's a bit of a thing with his accent and stuff, but that's the way it was with basically, you know. Yeah,
it's always. I think that's what one of the things that sort of put us off. It didn't put us out of all of the groups, you know. Like, you know, I've always said I bought all of the stuff, so it's not as it didn't put us off. Yeah. It just made me like more because they actually, to me, felt as though it was more real. It's not a diss, and I've had this discussion a million times. But you know, they've got all the Outlaw Posse stuff. Love them. You know, Caveman. It's not about that. It's just about the fact that I think at the time I was more thinking, you know, I'm proud to be from Britain, and I'm proud that people are trying to make that distinguish, like to try and move away from copying the American stuff and doing their own thing. And I did like Hijack, but I don't know what it was. It wasn't the accent, because I just didn't get into them as much as say like London Posse or Gunshot or some of the others. You know what I mean? Like even like Outlaw Posse or I just didn't.
But you've got to remember what happened with Gunshot was Hijack. They invented a style of British hip hop with Hold No Hostage.
Which was?
Just Hold No Hostage. They sped the beats totally up. So it's like they sort of invented what's called Britcore now.
Okay.
And that got...
Yeah. I just remember listening to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Blown away by it.
Because Style Wars was pretty slow, slow, and then Supreme said he needed something. He wanted to just change it up totally.
Yeah.
And he did. And that got the attention of Ice-T. And without the attention of Ice-T, I don't think they would have made that.
Interesting, isn't it? Because you then...
I was so proud when Ice-T signed these. I was like, wow, you know, a British group is being signed by, like, because at the time Ice-T was a really big American rapper. And you think to yourself, the USA is you recognised with.
What was that, Julie? Sorry?
I can just imagine him crying. You, Ridla, when you heard
Like
that?
that?
So emotional.
It's interesting, isn't it, when we talk about speeded up hip hop, like rap music, and where it went, and that sort of called that, you know, because I don't like calling it Britcore either, but it got called that, and who am I to say it's not called that? And some of the artists call themselves their music that, so it's theirs, not mine. They make it out. I'm just a consumer. I buy it. But it's interesting because then a lot of these so-called fans, well, not so-called fans, who are fans, then turn their nose up at faster rap when it comes to grime. And it's like, well, actually, grime's just a cousin or a stepson or whatever you want to call it of hardcore, of Britcore, is it not?
Well,
Fast spitting over speeded up beats. Yeah.
The way I see it, there's a tree, right? There's a tree of hip hop, and all the branches, little branches, are all the different styles of hip hop. That's the way. If you either like it or you don't like it.
No, but
I mean, even the mumble rap is a style of hip hop.
Yeah, but I'm not going into all of that. I'm just saying that obviously when hip hop got speeded up in the UK, that we had grime that came out of that. I would say, especially when you think it came out of East London. Who was in East London? Gunshot. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And to me, it's like, well, you know, then you also had people like who did some double time. What's he called again? The artist Kalashnikov, who doesn't really get mentioned much as well. But Kalashnikov used to do some double time stuff as well, you know, and he's from East London. I just find it interesting that some people.
I mean, I haven't got into grime stuff just basically because I'd rather just buy the stuff that I like and I sort of trust, if you know what I mean. It's going to be quality. You know, I'm not saying that the grime isn't quality.
There's some quality, well, for me anyway, there's some quality grime. There's a lot of there's a lot of crap. But if you think when hip hop first started, the same thing. There was a lot of crap in hip hop. You go back and see the one-hit wonders on this side of the water and the other side of the water. There's a lot of one-hit wonders in America as well. And you think back and you think some of it is absolute garbage, you know. But you know, you've got to have the rubbish to get the good stuff. You know, it's the same with like when we talk about Northeast hip hop. People used to always say, "Oh, there's too much coming out. It's all rubbish." And say, "Well, no. You need to be able to say, well, and obviously it's all about choice and taste. But you've got some stuff that's not as good, and they might get better. They're just young, a lot of them. And some people started off, you know, if we went back and had recordings of some of the top rappers' first songs, I bet they'd be pretty embarrassed as well to hear some of their first.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I just find it funny that people accept someone like Silver Bullets, but they won't accept some of the stuff that we've heard like recently from the UK and some of the lyrics. You might like the voices, you might like some of the styles, but they complain about it being too fast and say, well,
basically, a lot of them are now like superstars, aren't they?
Well, that doesn't mean nothing to me. Like, to be fair, just means that
Dave or something. Dave, he's massive.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Stormzy, massive.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Well,
I like Dave and I like Stormzy. I've got a couple of Stormzy albums. I've got Dave's Psychodrama album, and I know Julie has as well. I like them, but it's not about them being massive or not. It's just about whether I think they're good enough or not, and that's just my personal taste. But I'm willing to listen to people, is what I'm saying. I'll listen to them if I don't like them, you know. But I do like some grime stuff. I really do. Some of it's garbage. Some of it went too poppy for me, you know. When you started getting into that sort of N-dubs, and Tinchy Strider went off on one. When Tinchy Strider first came out, I thought he was good, and then he went pop, and he lost me. Same with Chipmunk can spit, but people just disrespect him all the time, and it's like, but then he didn't help himself when he went too pop. But that's just my opinion.
Dizzy Rascal can. I mean, we're going to see him at Lindisfarne, so that should be a good weekend.
Anyway, let's bring it to an end. Has anybody got any last words that they want to say then?
I'm cold and can we finish now?
I just want to say,
love
your records.
What's that?
Love your records.
Love your records.
Love your records like they're your children. Keep them safe. Because your records are basically, for me anyway, they're like photographs. They've got the reminders of places, people, and times of my life.
Okay, I can get with that. I get with that, but I would never compare them to Natasha and your Asha anyway. But that's just me.
Well, I would.
No, definitely not. Okay, Julie, anything you want to say?
No. No, really, seriously, I'm freezing and I need to go.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in. We are the Vinyl Vandals. Okay, don't forget DJ Ridla show every Monday night from 7 till 9. We have been the Vinyl Vandals. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Thanks.
Good night. Thanks for tuning in.